Are you ready, Casey?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right.
Do your thing.
Welcome to season number 2 of the Go for 2 podcast. I am your host, Jackson Wallace. I got my friend, my buddy, my pal, Lucas Saver with me. But Lucas, we are joined by the one, the only, the comet connoisseur, if you will, the Casey Crawford. Casey, thank you so much for joining us, man. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thank y'all for having me on.
Dude, thanks for coming on. And for real, like as we start a little preamble to this, thank you so much for you're always liking the videos, you're always sharing, you're commenting, you're spreading the word. Like that really helps us out a whole lot. So we're really happy to have you guys on, have you on. And for everybody else that's listening or watching, I mean, I know Casey, in real life, I'm actually going to go visit him next week. So it should be a really good time. So it's a natural little bit of a friendship there. But Lucas, I think we got a kind of an action-packed episode today, don't we?
And look, let this serve as a template for everyone else. All right, you want to be on the pod, you gotta be a boy, you gotta comment. All right, you gotta be there for the videos. All right, this man Casey's texting Jackson behind the scenes, even telling him he's crazy. All right,
he really does tell me I'm crazy.
He's agreeing with me about the Mike Evans Keenan Allen argument last week. He's doing all the right things.
He's everywhere, dude. He's everywhere. So Casey, you want to take a couple seconds, just kind of introduce yourself to everybody out there.
Yes, my name's Casey Crawford. Live in Oklahoma. I work for Tyson. Used to be a groomer in Texas, but recently with the COVID thing, I had to change jobs. So, and I've been telling these boys that it's all about the Patriots, Bill Belichick. And it's all about the new Brady with the Brady jersey with the Bucks. So, people that they're listening with the pod, you gotta go with Bill Belichick and Brady. And
Gronk. That is a nice looking jersey. Like that actually looks really cool.
You gotta respect the fit.
Yeah,
you gotta respect the fit. Mm-hmm. I do respect it. Lucas, shall we get into the comments?
Yeah.
All right, so this is gonna be weird because Casey's here, but I'm also gonna read Casey comments.
Even better, double the Casey.
Yeah, he's gonna expand on this comment and then just tell me how even more insane I am. Okay, First from Casey, he says the Pats and the Tampa in the playoffs, and I hope both of them are in the Super Bowl. I mean, that would be nice, but listen, we've heard it multiple times from Lucas. They're not making the playoffs. The Patriots aren't making it, dude.
It's not happening. It's not going. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. All the people opting out.
It's Bill Belichick. You just never know.
And see, that's such an easy argument because it's hard to say anything against that. Like, oh, just the greatest coach of all time. By the way, just like no big deal. Like
here's my theory. All right, Jared Stillman, right? His name, the backup quarterback, right? He's backup for Brady, right? And Bill Belichick is going to mold him to the next big star while Cam Newton's on the bench, okay? So don't get excited about Cam Newton, all right? Because, he's a clown. That's all I got to say.
Hey, I agree with you on that. I'm with you on that. I was telling Jackson before, I don't think Cam's going to be the starter.
Playing devil's advocate, though. Go ahead, Casey.
I think Cam is just a body for if something happens, like an injury happens, all right, we have a quarterback. That's what Cam's job is.
Yeah, see, we all think that Cam Newton's not going to be the starter, but however, Lucas, I've been reading stuff on Twitter, GMs and stuff retweeting things, and everyone, like all the commentators, they're all under the presumption or the assumption that Cam is going to be the starter. Yeah. Like that Cam is going to have this synergy with the team and change up their offense. Like everybody's thinking that he's going to, but we're ahead of the game over here. We're prophets. He's not starting.
That's right. Okay. That's right.
Yeah. All right. Next comment. This is kind of a twofer. This is both from Casey. So I'll read both of them and continues here. He said, Jackson, Mike Evans is already better without Brady. He says he is way better than Des Bryant. How about that? And yes, Lucas, I definitely agree. Jackson has lost his mind.
See? That's what I'm saying. Agree with Lucas.
It's not a bad take. Keenan Allen's a top receiver. He's been consistent for forever. He's had some injuries, sure.
All right. Keenan Allen is good because you have Phillip Rivers, all right?
Phillip Rivers is the biggest choke artist in the game.
He still throws for
who's
300 yards every game.
Keenan Allen's got Tyrod Taylor right now, so he ain't gonna do squat.
It'll be interesting to see. He's definitely not the best in the AFC West. I think that belongs to Tyreek Hill. I think that is clear. All right. Last one from Casey. I should have read this too. Jackson, what the heck are you smoking, man? Mike Evans is way better stats than Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen has better quarterback. What you just said. Listen, I know that it's not a popular take, all right, but it's my take, okay, and I'll roll with the punches on that. But I got a couple questions. Actually, I have a couple questions from Aiden, AMZ Video. Shout out to Aiden out here on the channel. All right. So first thing he says is, I'm 100% agreeing on the topic that Jamal Adams, they definitely gave up too much on that trade, but they better go to the Super Bowl this year, giving up as much as they did. What do you think, Lucas?
I don't. Man, that's just hard. Like it's hard to.
Yeah.
I don't see how you. Like, you trade for Jamal Adams, but I don't see him being so amazing that you go to the Super Bowl because of him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like.
But do you think they need to go to the Super Bowl this year to justify the trade, or maybe within the next 2 years to justify it?
No, I don't think you justify the trade unless, like, I mean, let's say they do go to the Super Bowl this year and he gets like a pick six to win the game or something. There was like, oh, they knew that was going to happen, but like you still, like you still can't. I mean, like, are we going to justify getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins for the Houston Texans if they like go to the playoffs this year? Like, oh, they still made the playoffs and they're paying less money, so like it's okay to get rid of arguably the best wide receiver in the game.
Yeah, I see your point. It just, I don't know, man. I feel like they went all in on Jamal Adams, right? Giving as much as they did. So I feel like, to me, you have to make it to the NFC Championship game or better at least once over the next 2 years, maybe the next 3, to kind of justify that. I see your point though, Lucas, because you can't. It's hard to justify those type of trades and how it's going to impact people long term and impact the team. But I don't know, man. I feel like they gave up a lot to get him, and we always talk about very small windows of opportunity for Super Bowl championship teams, and I think they're really wanting to capitalize on that, especially with him on his deal. What do you think, Casey?
I think just playoff contender. I don't
playoff contender. Okay.
Super Bowl, you know, that's a little too much just for, you know, one big guy, you know. I say playoff contender and see what happens. NFC Championship is a far fetch because you got Tampa Bay and the Saints. They're both powerful. That's going to be a good matchup because, you know, for the NFC South, it's going to be Tampa and Brees with the Saints. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's going to be a showdown, and that's going to be a good game. And whoever wins that game, I'm going to root for them for the playoffs. I hope it's Brady, but sometimes I hope it's Brees because Brees have just got, you know, stolen. I mean, with the bad refs and everything the last few years with the pass interference.
Yeah, with the pass interference call was crazy. Speaking of Tom Brady, I have your first question, Mr. Case. This comes from Aiden. All right, it comes from your boy, okay, aka El Chefe. All right. So he says, all right, this question is for Casey. I want him to tell me why he thinks Tom Brady will be so good with Tampa, because it's a new coach with new weapons and players that he's just never played with before.
All right, I'm going to lay it all down the line for you, okay?
All right, let me have it, Casey. I'm listening.
All right. Have y'all watched the Tom versus Tom on Facebook?
Yes.
I have not.
I watched it like 2 years ago.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
Tom versus Tom on Facebook. We need to watch it. All right. See, I'm a Tom Brady fan because he is like obsessed of being perfect, and he's not. And that's the thing. He's not he was like 199 the draft pick. He was like a horrible prospect during the combine. Like, nobody didn't give him a chance, and he struggled to get the one chance. Even in college, he struggled to get the one chance in college. And yeah, he started his junior year, But we had a new guy come in, and they had to play him because if they didn't play him, he was going to play baseball. So he struggled to be a starter and while he's a senior in Michigan. So his whole entire career, he struggled to start and be good.
Yeah,
And
he had to fight. He had to fight for a spot every step of the way.
yeah, and I've seen one of his videos of him going to his college and talking to those kids, saying, every time that I go to practice and every time I go to off season or whatever, I have to earn the right to be the captain. They don't just give me the captain because I won Super Bowls. It's because I have to earn the right every time I go in the locker room. And he does it. He prepares for his team. He's all about teamwork. And he does the extra mile. Lucas, if you ever watch that video, you will see that he spends hours and hours just watching film like insane, and extra work and everything. That all he is 100% dedicated, and all the work that he's put into that's why he's got 6 rings. I mean, that's what it takes to win. And
Yeah,
I think because all that stuff that he had to go through, and everybody thought he wasn't good enough, it still bugs him today. Even though he's named the GOAT, he doesn't like it because he's in his mind, he doesn't think I'm that good enough. I'm not like his idol was Joe Montana, and he feels like he's not that guy for whatever reason.
So, yeah. His work ethic is so great that it doesn't really matter what he has around him. He's going to make everybody else better automatically, basically. I feel that. All right, so last comment. I'm sorry, go ahead. What was that, Casey?
Oh, and also, not only that just him, his whole entire team buys into it, and they do it all with him. And that's why he's the leader, and they all do it. If you had more quarterbacks that do that all across the league, oh man, NFL would be like, we're clueless. We don't even know what team's going in the Super Bowl. Like, everybody's good.
Yeah, the competition would be incredibly fierce. Last comment, and it's a question again from Aiden. He says, I have a question for Jackson. What player, and you can chime in too on this, Lucas and Casey, says, I have a question. What player do you think is just going to go off in the fantasy football world this year and just make a lot of points?
Like a new player, or like just someone?
Just like somebody in particular. I wrote down a couple names, but like I wrote down a couple names that are like people might be sleeping on, or people that like maybe had an okay year last year, going to do better this year. Because I mean, you're going to have your Lamar Jackson's going to score a lot. You got Patrick Mahomes is going to score a lot. Christian McCaffrey, those type of players. Deshaun Watson, because they're just like, naturally gifted, and they're just naturally going to put up points. So I put a couple people that maybe some people won't keep an eye on. So.
All right. As a sleeper, I'm gonna go with the tight end for Tennessee, Jonnu Smith.
Yes.
Our offensive coordinator was our tight ends coach before he got promoted. And then, last year, like Delaney Walker was the starter coming into the year, but then he got hurt, so it was like Jonnu was kind of coming into his own and stuff, and he made some really awesome plays. And this man is fast for a tight end. So I'm thinking he's going to have a kind of a breakout year, kind of like Darren Waller did for the Raiders last year. So I think he's going to be a really good fantasy sleeper this year.
I feel you. Okay, so I got 4 players listed. Now, these are not all necessarily sleepers, but I think these are people that, they played fairly well last year, but I think they're going to have big years this year. First one, Kyler Murray. Obviously, he got the best wide receiver in the game.
I was going to say Murray.
Yeah. Kyler Murray. We're on the same wavelength, Casey. Okay, we don't disagree about everything. Right? So, yeah, Kyler. I think you just gave him the best wide receiver in the game. He already has a Hall of Famer, Larry Fitzgerald. He's got Christian Kirk. He's kind of an up and coming slot guy. Their defense got a lot better. Like, I think he's going to have more opportunities. So look out for him this year. Next one I have is James Conner. I feel like he's going to be competing for best running back in the AFC North. Woo. Because he's coming off of an injury. Concussion protocol throughout last year. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be incredibly competitive this year. And I look for him to kind of have a bounce back year and show why the Steelers were so comfortable to move on from Le'Veon Bell. Next one I got Baker Mayfield. Okay. COVID came in, saved this dude. All right. Here's why. He ain't off shooting commercials. okay, or doing anything ridiculous, right? While Lamar Jackson's in the weight room, he's at home. He's going through plays. He's talking to his staff. We've got a new coach. They finally got an adult in the room, okay? And so I think that's really going to help them out. So I look for Baker and the Cleveland Browns. You and me talked about it this year too, Lucas. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to have a pretty good year. Last person I have, DK Metcalf. Josh Gordon, he's out in Seattle. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't. Tyler Lockett's coming off injury. I feel like DK is going to be competing for that number one spot. You guys seen this dude on Instagram? Like, you don't ever want to walk around shirtless next to this guy, okay? Because this dude is just jacked, like beyond belief. He's just like that Calvin Johnson-esque type body, right?
Yeah,
you just go up and grab balls.
Yeah, he looks like me.
Yeah, he looks like you, Casey. That's right. That's right.
I will say, the latest episode of Bussin' with the Boys actually had AJ Brown on it, and he went to college with DK Metcalf, and that picture that they shown, that picture that they shown at before the draft, and it was DK all ripped. The guy next to him was AJ, and so like AJ was talking about all that, and he was like, he could be the next Calvin Johnson. He was like, if he really did some stuff, then he would be like, he has the opportunity to be the best wide receiver in the league in 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking they're going to have better years this year. So look out for those guys, Aiden, in fantasy. Yeah, man. Oh, Lucas, is it time?
So I'm dancing. See me dancing.
Is it time? You're dancing?
I'm dancing.
Hey, guys, guess what? Casey, he sent us something. All right?
Yeah.
All right?
Not gonna love them, boys.
He sent us something. I'm not going to show the front too much so you don't see my address or whatever, but I am going to open up. Well, you can't be too careful out here, Lucas.
I'm gonna let you go first, Jackson.
I go first? You don't want to do the same time?
Mine is still sealed.
Okay. All right. So opening mine up.
Before you open them, I gotta say they're brand new 2020.
Oh.
Brand new 2020. All right. Let's open it up. Oh, it's some cards. Oh, look at this. Oh, check it out. We got Dak Prescott.
Clutch.
I love that. Got the stats and stuff on the back. That's awesome. Everybody's it's your favorite running back, Lucas, Lamar Jackson.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jackson. I don't need Lamar.
Yeah.
And then that's that bad man, Aaron Rodgers discount double check.
Oh,
that is awesome.
Man.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you so much.
Those are your boys.
These are my boys. I will cherish them forever. They're gonna sit right here on my desk.
All right. Casey, man, I really appreciate you giving me cards way better than Jackson's, okay?
Yeah,
all right?
Casey's the GOAT.
Because let me just say, all right, he got Lamar Jackson ain't nothing compared to this bad man right here, Derrick Henry.
Oh, dang. Look at that, man.
Yeah. League leading rusher.
Dang.
Okay. All right. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta read the back of this. Okay, so this is like his whole year stats.
Yeah.
16 touchdowns, Jackson.
Derrick Henry is a monster.
Beautiful
I will
man.
give you that.
Tajay Sharp.
Okay, yeah, respect to Tajay Sharp.
Yo, and it's got his stats for the game against the Saints. That was his best. Good God, that was his best game last year. That's awesome.
People be sleeping on the Titans.
I wish he still played for us. I'm sad that we got rid of him.
Where'd he go?
I don't
Do you remember? Okay.
And then, boom.
Oh, there's your boy.
All right.
Yo, we have a theory about him.
I love this guy so much, Casey. And I'm so sad that he's not our quarterback anymore. I so wish things would have worked out for him.
We have a theory, Casey. We think he's going to end up starting for the Raiders.
Hey, I think Marcus Mariota, did he beat the Cowboys?
Yeah, he did beat the Cowboys. Hey, and guess what? He definitely played better than Dak. Because I remember Dak getting down to the red zone and whoop, interception in the end zone.
Didn't we not have Zeke that game too?
Oh yeah, I think you definitely had Zeke.
Yeah, we had Zeke.
I thought it was early in the season and we didn't have him off that 6-game suspension.
No, it was like middle or
was it really?
Yeah, it was like middle or
just makes it even better.
We had Zeke, and it was during like he was going back and forth, like we didn't know at the time if he was going to be suspended or not.
Y'all lost to, yeah, y'all lost to us, and then it was like win. Like y'all, that's when y'all put your season together. It was after you lost to us. But I just want to say you can thank us for jumpstarting your season because Kevin Byard caught that interception and my man went and stood on the star. All right?
Yeah,
all
bro,
right?
That's so disrespectful.
Anyways, thank you for the cards, Casey. These are amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Casey. Appreciate you,
to
dog.
add them to my collection of Ryan Tannehill cards, which I keep here next to me for the pod.
I'm keeping these on my desk the entire time.
This Derrick Henry card is awesome. That's a really cool card to have from this year. He had an amazing year. Oh, love it.
League's leading rusher for a reason.
Okay.
What's up?
So, it is my turn to ask Casey questions, all right?
All right, I'm going to back off.
This is a specific topic, very special just for you, Mr. Casey. So I tried to think of like your top, in my head, like your top 3 people in football, I guess. All right, so obviously I got Tom Brady, right?
Obviously.
I had to throw Drew Brees in there, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Belichick. Okay? So I want to know who is the best at their respective position. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, or Bill Belichick?
Oh man, that is a hard one. Ooh.
So it's like, for clarification, Lucas, it's like you're basically asking, is Tom Brady a better quarterback than Belichick as a coach?
Yeah.
And like, or is Brees a better quarterback than both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. On the spot.
That's right.
That's a stinger. Oh man, like,
I have my answer.
Much as I love Brady and Brees, but I have to go with Belichick, man, because just because, look, Belichick, when he first started being the head coach, and he was I think 94 with the Browns. Okay, he was coaching the Browns, and guess who was on the coaching staff, guys? It was Saban, Alabama coach. He was on the coaching staff, right?
Yep.
And the Browns back then, the 90s, they didn't do anything. Just like nowadays, they haven't really done anything, right? Well, when Belichick was the coach there, well, the Browns were on the map. They were going to playoffs. It was a playoff game or two, but they're going to playoffs, right?
That means a lot to a franchise that ain't doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like losing every game, not winning or anything, right? So they were going to playoffs, and you had like a lot of people starting their careers. Like there was a lot of coaches in there. They end up being general managers from the Jets and all different organizations and everything. And you had Nick Saban for the Alabama. If he would have stayed, if that group would have stayed, oh man, it would be amazing. But the 95 Browns, they sold it, and that they became the Rams, or not the Rams, the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, and that's how the Baltimore Ravens began. It's because they sold the Browns, and then the Ravens came in 96. So
a little history lesson.
So
yeah,
but I gotta say Belichick because that's where Tom Brady got all the teachings is from Belichick. I mean, Belichick studies and studies. Man, he's on the treadmill. He is studying. He's studying, and he has trained Brady how to study. So, Drew Brees, he does this. He studies, but I don't think he studies quite like they do, because he's with he's got a different coach. He's different background and everything. So I have to go with Belichick because Belichick molded Brady when he was young, and through the years, they've gone to 8 Super Bowls and they've won I don't know how many AFC championships. Like it's insane.
Too many.
So I've got to say Belichick, just the way he molds his players and just the way he studies on new things and old things and like like Lamar Jackson like ran all over him, but look, guess what? Lamar Jackson ain't gonna run on the Patriots this year. Like
I think he's gonna have a lot harder time against teams this year.
Lamar's gonna have to pass, and that's his weakness.
Yeah. So. I will say that like Belichick's coaching tree is insane. If you look at like
ridiculous.
All the coaches that are actually connected to him that have played under him before, and then like even before that, like Bill Parcells, because that's where Belichick comes from.
Otherwise, Bill Parcells, Nick Saban, Matt Patricia.
all that stuff's crazy.
It goes on and on and on.
But what do you think, Jackson?
I disagree. I think first of all, we take Brees out of the equation. I think Brees is an incredible quarterback, right? And I actually have a take it or leave it involving him later on in the show. But I think, to me, it comes down to a question of like who is like by far and away the greatest at their spot. I think there are a lot of good coaches out there. Obviously, I think Bill Belichick is the best coach we've ever seen. But I think there's other good coaches out there. Tony Dungy, John Madden, for example, some of those guys that can kind of they're up there in the upper echelon of coaches. I think Tom Brady is by far and away, not even close, the best quarterback we've ever seen. And I think Tom Brady and his clutch gene and what he's able to do in those key moments, 56 game-winning drives, right? 14-time Pro Bowler, like that talent. And I'm not saying that, Bill Belichick came with the game plan and he helped them study and he helped mold them. And that's great and that's fantastic. But Bill Belichick doesn't win those 6 Super Bowls without Brady, in my opinion. Maybe he wins a couple, with whoever quarterback. I'm sure being that great of a coach, he's going to win some. But I think Brady being clutch in those moments, I think 4 out of his 6 games where he won, it's a game-winning drive. And you just can't teach that. It's just something that's internal. And I think there are some coaches that I'll explain it this way. There are some coaches that are closer to the greatness of Bill than there are quarterbacks closer to the greatness of Brady. So that's I think it's Brady, but that's just me.
It's a toss-up. It's either way. Like, I go with Brady. I go with Bill.
They're both the best at their spot. I mean, undoubtedly.
Right. They both gone to 9 Super Bowls, so you can't. It's like you can't go one or the other.
Right. That's the hard part about this. Another reason I picked it is because it's like Brady and Bill have always been together, and Brees has always been number 2. Right. It's always Brees has always been number 2, but now we're getting to see them split up. So now we get to see how is Brady without Bill, how's Bill without Brady, and then we can compare them to Drew Brees, who's going to be in the same deal that he's been in. And so it's kind of like, at the end of this year, there might be some people that are like, oh, like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick did that because them together created a perfect storm, but without each other, they can't do stuff like that. If the Patriots win 4 games and Tom Brady goes out there and has the worst season of like his whole life ever, going back to like Pee Wee or something, then it's going to be like, oh, well, like he only played good because of
they had that cohesion, right? And it was them mixed together is what made them so great, and that's very possible too,
right? And then there's going to be people that are going to argue like, well, Brees is actually a better quarterback than Tom. Then if Brees had Belichick, then he would have done the same thing, or he would have done better and stuff like that.
That's an interesting question to me. If Brees had Belichick, would Brees have 6 rings right now?
Right. So there's going to be some cool. I think there's going to be some cool storylines come out of this season.
There's a few things about Brees though. He does make mistakes. I think he makes more mistakes than Brady does.
A lot more interceptions.
Brady's really fast throwing the ball, getting it out there, right? Brees, he kind of hesitates, but Brees is a lot shorter. He has a hard time seeing the line because you ever notice when he's throwing the ball, he's he's got his chin up and he's like looking. It's a little struggle.
I also feel like historically maybe Brees has had better wide receivers. I might just be thinking that right now because he's got Michael Thomas and Tom Brady just came from nothing. Absolutely.
Yeah, Brady
nothing.
only had a couple of years where we had top talent receivers. I mean, you talk about like 2007, he had Moss and Welker, and he set the touchdown record.
Right.
He just had guys like that. But he's like, he made guys like Deion Branch, who was like a decent star in the NFL, made him a top 3 wide receiver that year in the league. Like he's done it with so many different people and spread the ball out so much. Like when you give him a top talent like Randy Moss, then I mean the other team, they just get exposed. So period, point blank, Brady's that guy.
Anyways, to move on a little bit, Mr. Jackson, it's your turn. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you your section here, so you can get your spotlight in.
I appreciate that. I got to have some kind of spotlight so I look somewhat relatively decent out here. So we got basically kind of our news story here for the week. Nate Burleson, he published an article on NFL.com, so that's where this is from. If you guys want to go check it out and kind of read along with me. He did top 5 wide receivers who are entering year 2, right? So entering their sophomore year, that he is looking for them to kind of break out, right? And he's going to exclude A.J. Brown from this list because he broke out last year. right? So we're looking for teams that like guys that haven't necessarily broken out yet onto the top scene as top wide receiver contenders, right? So I'm going to go in reverse order. I'm going to go from 5 to 1. As one being the most likely. So number 5, we have Hunter Renfrow, right? Wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, right? In 2019, he played 13 games. He had 71 targets, but 49 receptions for 605 yards and 4 touchdowns. Basically what he was saying in the article was that Hunter Renfrow, like basically like this entering this new year for Derek Carr, you're going to have guys like Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller appeared on the scene as a premier tight end, taking away the eyes of the defense. And so he's going to be able to get a lot of kind of favorable matchups. So be on the lookout for Hunter Renfrow. His projections for 2020, he provided those as well, is 65 catches for 800 yards and 8 TDs. Do y'all think that's feasible for Hunter Renfrow?
Probably.
And then bringing on Henry Ruggs as well.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about him.
Yeah, they have Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. So is Hunter Renfrow going to really be able to get 65 catches?
If he would have said like over 1,000 yards, I definitely would have said no. But I like that he was like under 1,000 yards, but he's going to give him 8 touchdowns. Because it's like he seems like he's more of a possession type of guy. He's more of like he's going to hit you a little slant in the red zone, get you a touchdown. Like I don't see him streaking down the field. 800 might be a stretch, but I think like it's possible. You know, as soon as they bench Carr and Marcus becomes the quarterback, right? He learns how to throw again because he forgot. All right, Mariota forgot how to throw the ball. All right,
yeah.
And there's rumors he's not healthy. I don't know if he's healthy or not, but that nerve in his arm is just going to stop bothering him magically. All right, and all will be swell in the world. Then in a good season, I think it's possible.
I got you. Number 4, wide receiver from Kansas City, and forgive me if I butcher his name, Maseed Hardman. So in 20, and I hadn't even heard of this guy.
Wait.
Hardman.
Is it McCole?
McCole, excuse me. Yeah, McCole Hardman.
That's the guy. Sorry. He said he was a rookie last year, and that's the guy he was like, hey, just run straight. I'll throw you the ball.
Yeah. So his 2019 stats, he played all 16 games. He had 41 targets. He caught 26 balls, 538 yards and 6 touchdowns. His projections for 2020 are 50 catches for 800 yards and 8 TDs, similar to Hunter Renfrow. Basically, what he was saying in the article was that, like, you have so many stacked weapons on KC. You got Sammy Watkins, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Travis Kelce, right? Damian Williams, and Patrick Mahomes. He's spreading the ball everywhere. I hadn't even heard of this guy, to be honest with you, until I read this article. And so he's saying like he's going to be able to kind of go into the spotlight. He's not going to break over 1,000 yards, right? Just because there's so many different targets to throw the ball to, but he's going to get some favorable matchups, right? And so 8 TDs, 800 yards, 50 catches. I mean, that seems like, for me, that kind of seems like a lot for a 3rd string wide receiver. But
well, I feel like, I mean, what he had 500 something yards this past season as a rookie.
Yeah, 538.
I mean, I think he can definitely hit 800 if going into a second year, maybe getting some more targets, depending on how things are going. I don't see him catching, did you say 50 balls? He caught 26 50. Last year?
He caught 26 on 41 targets. So he'd catch double the balls.
I mean, if he catches double the balls, he's having 1,000 yards then.
For sure.
So I don't think he gets that many targets, but that's what he is. He's their home run guy. Like they drafted him because he runs like a speed demon out there.
Dude, they have so much speed on that team, Kansas City.
It's stupid.
It's actually ridiculous. Another sleeper for you there, Aiden. McCole Hardman. Number 3, Darius Slayton, wide receiver, New York Giants, right? So he kind of this guy. There was a lot. Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, both injured going in last year. So Darius Slayton instantly became the number 1 target. He played 14 of their games, had 84 targets. He caught 48 balls for 740 yards and 8 touchdowns. His projection for 2020 with Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard coming back is that he's still going to be the number 1 target. He's going to get 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. His reason being in this article is that he has the most chemistry with Daniel Jones from last year, and Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard didn't get to develop as much. What do you think?
You think yes?
Casey's like yes, he's going to go off.
I think no. Yards. I think no. So I'm going to let you handle this, Casey.
Oh,
why yes, Casey?
Because it's Jason Garrett doing the The offensive coordinator.
He's gonna
bro.
mess it
Hey,
up.
Coach Clapp.
Coach
Doing great.
Clapp is
Doing great out
look,
there.
Go on, Slayton.
Look, Coach Clapp is going to prove himself because you know down deep in his heart that he is mad and he wants revenge.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna mold his players to seek revenge on the Joneses. All right.
No, I kind of buy that a little bit because here's the thing: Jason Garrett
here's
was
the
a
thing.
way better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach.
I agree. But the thing is, if the Joneses would allow Jason Garrett do his thing, because like, all right, when he first took over, they started doing good. Everything was exciting. We were winning games, you know. And then he became head coach, and then guess what? I have no control. I can't do anything. I have to.
Hands are tied.
I have to be clapping on the sideline. He was not allowed to do anything. You know, he was just. They took his play calling away and everything. So, and now he got fired, and now he's with the Giants, and now he's going to regroup and he's licking his chops for the Cowboys, and
Lucas.
he's going to show the Jones, look what you messed up.
Lucas,
so, yeah.
I've been saying, dude, ever since I was like, we've been destroying the Giants for like the past 4 or 5 years. We are due to go 0-2 against them. Like it is statistically on their side, like favorability wise. We are due for that kind of season, and I think it's going to be this year. I think we're going to lose 0-2 to the Giants. I really do, for whatever reason.
Jackson.
Y'all know who the head coach for the Giants is?
Yeah, it was
Who it is now? Name? It's Judge or something, right?
Yeah, Joe Judge. That's
Joe Judge.
Special team coach for the Patriots. Like, come on.
True.
Like, come on.
I think give him more time. I don't expect him to come in and instantly make them a way better football team, especially with COVID.
No.
But given some time, he can definitely change the culture and he can do some stuff there.
Lucas, they'll be a 7-9 team, but 2 of their wins are going to come off of us. That's how it's going to happen.
Jackson, all I know is that you swept your division last year, other than splitting to
5-1.
Yeah, other than splitting to the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
And
we had 8 wins.
If you lose both games to the Giants this year, you will not make the playoffs, even with the expanded playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I know. We're good against our division. That's it.
Hey, we didn't make
lost
playoffs.
To the Jets.
We didn't.
We lost to the Jets, man. Sam Darnold just came out of the ICU, and we lost.
Yeah, my man had mono. He said, "Hold my beer." Went out there and won a football game.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, it's beyond ridiculous. I'm expecting a blowout, sitting there chilling, hanging out, watching the football game.
Hey,
texting Casey,
Jackson. Jackson, it's going to happen again. You know why? Because for some reason, the Joneses does not want their head coach calling the plays. I don't know why, but
Mike McCarthy he gave the play calling to Kellen Moore. Still.
All right, so we're going to be no playoff team again. Like, come on. I'm sorry, but the boys.
I'm still holding out hope, Casey. I'm not jumping ship yet, but I'm still holding on. Okay, I got my new Dak Prescott card. It's gonna give me good luck. Okay, all right. Number 2, this guy kind of had a little bit of a breakout year, especially towards the postseason. Lucas Deebo Samuel, 49ers, right? So in 2019, he played 15 games, had 81 targets and 57 receptions for 800 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he also had 14 rushes for 159 yards and 3 more touchdowns. They used him a lot on the end arounds, Kyle Shanahan, little trick plays. His 2020 projections are 1,000 yards even, and he will hit double-digit touchdowns.
I'm saying no again because Jimmy G. And they lost one of their halfbacks. That was part of their duo halfback team.
They did. And they lost Emmanuel Sanders. So what he was saying in the article was it's very telling that the 49ers let Emmanuel Sanders go in free agency because they have this much confidence in Deebo Samuel, and they drafted Brendan Ayuk.
I was going to say, and they drafted another wide receiver. So I'm going to say no, but there's a lot of hype around Samuel. I know
there's a lot of hype around him, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think he hits 1,000 yards. I don't think the Niners. There's something to be said for that Super Bowl lost team. You kind of have the following year. You have a little bit of some more hurdles to go through. You know what I mean? It's not like a curse, but it's just you lose a Super Bowl in the following year, you just don't do as well historically, unless you're the Patriots and you lose Super Bowl, then you go back and you win 2 more in a row. Unless you're Brady, because that definitely happened following the Eagles lost. All right, last one, Mr. Lucas, Mr. Casey. You might know this guy, Casey. N'Keal Harry, wide receiver for the Patriots. 2019, he had a very underperforming year. The first wide receiver drafted in the first round in the Bill Belichick era, so he had a lot of faith in this guy. He played 7 games. He had 24 targets. He only caught 12 balls for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. His 2020 projections are 1,000 yards and at least 6 touchdowns. Basically, in the article, this is what I was talking about, Lucas, he was citing Cam Newton's athleticism as being able to, quote unquote, hit home run balls. And that's where N'Keal Harry is going to get the majority of his yards. What do you think, especially from you, Mr. Casey? I'm curious to hear, is N'Keal Harry going to have 1,000 yards and at least 6 touchdowns this year?
Say no.
Since when did Cam Newton throws home runs in the end zone?
He ain't got the accuracy to throw a deep ball whenever I watch him. He's got the arm, but he can't throw it straight enough.
Lost it. Dude, I'm telling you, man. That's wild.
Cam Newton can't throw home runs when he's on the bench, so no.
That's facts. That's facts, Casey. Let him know. Let him know. He ain't gonna be the starter. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think N'Keal Harry hits 1,000 yards. I think they struggled last year on offense, even with Josh Gordon and Julian Edelman and everybody else. I don't see N'Keal Harry being able to carry the load along with Julian Edelman, especially with their running back scenario at the moment. They've had 8 players drop out this year. I think what might happen, Casey, what do you think? What do you think about this little conspiracy theory? Okay, it's a little small thing going around, a little nugget of information that Bill Belichick is getting some of his players to opt out so it doesn't count against the cap for this year, so he can tank and draft Trevor Lawrence and come back. No, I read this on Twitter today, Lucas.
Oh, yes. I saw something about that on social media too.
And then, he has favorable deals. Yeah.
It would, being Bill Belichick, it wouldn't surprise me because he knows that Lawrence is the new hot thing. And if he can get number 1 pick, I could see him tanking the team. And he's probably told Kraft, look, I know we want to win, but in the future, this is what we got to do. So I could see him talking to Kraft about this and be like, look, yeah.
That's what we got to do. You're kind of buying into it. Lucas, is not my theory.
Look, if we start losing games and Bill Belichick is not upset, then it's planned. Like, what? Like, no, look, you have to pay attention on sidelines on the games, right? Because Bill Belichick will get upset. And if they're losing and he's not upset and he's just standing there, like, come on, guys, we got to do better. Oh, totally planned. So.
What do you think, Lucas? I saw you just kind of staring into the abyss for a second.
Well, I was staring into the. Okay. Anyways. Part of me. So there's like a small corner of my mind that's like, Belichick's going in and he's like talking to Kraft like Casey was talking about, and he's like, "Hey, we gotta do this, and this. Like, this is how football is now. We need to adapt. We gotta win by drafting a young quarterback. That's how you win. You win Super Bowls. All these teams. Seattle did it with a young quarterback. Kansas City just did it with a young quarterback. It's like the new thing, right?" Mm-hmm. So part of me is thinking he goes in and he's like, "This is what we do." The other part of me though is like, I just see like Bill Belichick sitting up there like, we just got to go into this season. We're just going to go in. We're going to do what we got to do to win football games. That's what we're here for. We're here to win football games.
That's exactly what he's going to do, man.
It's just like, what is going on. I respect the players' decisions for them to opt out and do what they want to do in regards to the safety of their family. But it's my job to win football games. That's what I plan on doing.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Questions about Cincinnati? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could see that. That's hilarious. But anyway, Lucas, those are the 5 players to be on the lookout for a potential breakout in year number 2.
I like some of them.
Deebo Samuel, I think, is clearly the top of my list. I like Hunter Renfrow and Darius Slayton.
Yeah. So next up, we got the week 13 predictions, which I love doing. This is like the best part of the pod for me right now because it's just getting me there. It's getting me to the end of the season or to the start of the season. There. Yeah. Week 13. So I'll say the game. I'll have Jackson give his piece. Mr. Casey, you can give your piece. And then we'll just keep track of this. So at the end of the year, we can compare all the guest scores. So, first game, Thursday Night Football, Cowboys at the Ravens.
Look, man.
What
do we say? Look, what do we say about Thursday night games, Lucas? The road team has such a disadvantage going into another team's stadium.
Especially when you're bad.
Especially when we're bad, especially when we're playing the Ravens, especially what's going on over here. It's Lucas, okay? It is, all right? That's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles over here in D-Town, brother. So I'm giving the win to the Ravens. I think we're on the road. Historically, we're not very good on the road. I think we're on the road on Thursday night. And I think that, I don't know, man. I feel like Lamar Jackson is going to expose our defense for some reason. I don't like it. I think we lose.
Casey, what you got?
I'm picking the Cowboys.
Oh, what? You were just sitting over here like, I'm telling you, man, they ain't gonna do nothing. I swear, they ain't never done anything anymore. It's all the Joneses.
Hey, Lawrence gonna be in the backfield all night. Zeke's running for 14 touchdowns. This one game.
This one game, man. He's going off, brother. By go. Like, spit out some dip while you say it.
All right. If we have Dak, we'll win. If we have Andy Dalton, we'll win. Either way, we'll win. We should win because, look, we've played the Ravens 3 times, all right, and we lost. No, we played them twice, and we lost every time, okay? This is our 3rd time, all right? And, yes, it's an away game, which we're horrible at, but it's Lamar Jackson. When a quarterback runs, Dallas defense can tackle the quarterback. Well, I would hope so. Now, they didn't tackle the Mitch Trubisky, the Chicago Bears. That was a horrible game. But I'm giving faith of our Dallas D. I'm giving faith with our high dollar linebacker, Lawrence.
Now, I notice you're using words like we and our. Are you back on the train? Are you back on the fan club? What's up? What's happening? I thought you were done with Cowboys. What's up?
I'm giving them a little.
You give him some credit.
Oh, he's muted. He's muted.
You're muted, Casey. What happened to you? You muted your mic.
Oh no.
I can't unmute him. He's trying to figure it out. The NFL football gods are sick and tired of Casey talking about it.
I ain't having it.
Still can't hear. There he is. You muted and then you unmuted again. You're muted, Casey. Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you. Can't hear you, brother.
Oh.
There you are. Now you got it. You're back.
But we don't hear you.
Pick Lamar. I'm picking the boys. If Lamar would throw some good passing, I might have picked him, but I ain't picking him. So go boys with the defense.
I respect it. I can't hate the argument. All right. You put pressure on the quarterback. You get in the backfield. Make him throw the ball, which he can't do under pressure or in the pocket, whichever one you prefer. Okay. And so, yeah. All right. Next game, the Browns at the Titans.
Are you taking the Cowboys, Lucas?
Oh, I'm taking the Ravens. I'm sorry.
I
completely skipped my thing.
Can't hate the argument. Oh yeah, I'm taking the Ravens, bro.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, you can't hate the argument, but I'm taking the Ravens because like Thursday Night Football, Ravens are at home, and I think they're going to run all over you. Not Lamar. I think Mark Ingram's going to have a good day.
Big trust. Woo woo.
Yeah, big trust. Woo woo.
Gotcha.
Anyways, Browns at the Titans, Jackson.
All right, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me, Lucas.
Dude.
Okay.
Doubt me.
Listen, bro. We were talking about the Browns having a much better year. I think the Browns got a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth from what happened last year in the opener. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're remembering the Titans,
That's what I want them to do.
Little wordplay. So I think the Browns are gonna come in, and the Titans can't win every game, which I've kind of had them doing. But I don't know, man. I like this matchup a lot better than I liked last year's matchup too. So I don't know, man. I think the Browns are gonna come in, win the game.
Casey, Browns and Titans. It's hard.
I'm really tired of Baker Mayfield with his commercials. I'm going with the Titans.
Hey.
Let's go, Casey.
So I'm also going with the Tennessee Titans, and well, don't hit me with the of course. All right, all right. I don't want to hear that. I'm not playing the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. I'm playing the Browns at home. All right, Titans are at home. All right, little dog statues and stuff in the stands like you see at the baseball games right now. They got one of the signs that had a dog on it. One of the cutouts. Got hit by a home run the other day. It was awesome. So, anyways, we're at home. It's a middle of the day game. We excel at 12 o'clock noon games because that's all we ever get, right? So,
yeah, you never get the Sunday night game or the afternoon America's game of the week, huh?
Yeah. No, it's gonna be the same thing it was last year. Okay, we had Marcus Mariota, and we couldn't necessarily do a whole lot on offense. We were just trying to figure our stuff out, and we still won because Baker went out there and threw interceptions. Because the Titans just I feel like we have a confusing defense, especially Dean Pease, which we don't have him anymore, which sucks. But I still think we can do some confusing stuff, get some pressure on him. I think he'll mess up somewhere. I think it's definitely going to be a close game, but I think Baker's going to hit Kevin, he's going to think he's got Odell for a 60-yard touchdown, and Kevin Byard's going to be sneaking up on him. All right, and he'll intercept it, yeah.
You're sneaking on up, brother. Okay. All right. I mean, I respect it. I don't hate the argument.
The Washington football team.
Gosh, that's a whole nother thing.
At the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm going with the team that has a name, Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at home. You're playing Washington, man. I shouldn't really have to say anything else. You're playing Pittsburgh. Sorry, bud.
Casey?
I'll go with the Steelers as well. Washington they have a bad rep right now, and also the coach has some scandal thing going as well. So Washington is.
We don't know what to think with Washington at the moment, man. I mean, I like Ron Rivera, right? Seems like whatever, and I think he's going to help their defense and everything. And Chase Young is definitely going to be a force, but Dwayne Haskins to me right now seems like a bust. And I might come back to that. Might regret that statement later on, but
yeah,
he hadn't seemed to really be anything to me.
I'm going with the Steelers too, and it's not just Dwayne Haskins might be a bust, stuff like that. It's also all that noise that's going on there, the name change, the stuff going on with the GM. You've got the Trent Williams drama that's still kind of catching up with them, and so it's all this stuff is always happening, and bad organizations have bad football teams, and that's just how it goes. And when you got all this drama going on, I know coaches are always preaching keep the noise out, but this is too much.
It's way too much. But let's not forget.
Also, did you see last year when they finally won a game, they celebrated like they won the Super Bowl?
Pathetic, right? But I think let's not forget too, Lucas. They're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Probably one of the best coach teams in the game, right?
Big Ben.
And I just talked about James Conner at the beginning of the year, or beginning of this episode. Yeah, it's just they're just outclassed in every avenue at this point on paper.
Next up, the Raiders at the Jets.
I got the Raiders in this one. I think the Jets. They lost both their safeties. By the way, their other safety opted out. And so they were without Jamal Adams. So their secondaries are depleted. I think they're stocking draft picks and getting ready for a rebuild to try and make a run at the AFC East in the next 2 to 3 years, try and take it over. I do. But Raiders, just a better team.
Okay. Mr. Casey?
I'm going to go with the Raiders with Jason Witten.
Ooh,
I saw
like
a
it.
picture of him today, by the way, Lucas. Right, Jason Witten in a Raiders uniform freaked me out, man.
Freaked me
There's no
out.
stars on. There's no stars on the end of his jersey. Like there wasn't the the blue and white. Like it freaked me out. It's weird.
He's still a great player. Still great. I don't know why in the world the Cowboys let him go because he's still better than Blake Jarwin. I don't care how old he is. He's great. And
He's Jason Witten, man. He's that guy. I don't know.
like, yeah, he dropped some passes, but he's so what? It was a bad throw.
It's a bad throw.
So yeah, I've also got to go with the Raiders. The Jets are just every time I think of the Jets, I see Adam Gase
Yeah, dude.
with his big eyes sitting at that press conference. So, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Vikings.
Okay, Gardner Minshew, no matter how many little mustache things he sells at a stadium, it doesn't matter. He is never going to make up for the fact that he is a terrible football player and doesn't even belong in this league. Vikings at home, 100% dominant blowout.
Casey?
Vikings are dropping 40.
Vikings all the way.
Yep. It's too easy. Too easy.
I don't think it's going to have like 3 touchdowns.
3?
Yeah, bro. Something's going to be insane. Like the Vikings are dropping 40 on the Jags. They're nothing.
40? They do have some defense. Come on. Come on.
I think I just don't like the Jaguars. I think I might not like the Jaguars more than you not like the Jaguars. And they're in your division. I can't stand
Hey, has the Jags ever been in playoffs?
Yes.
Yes.
A couple
When?
times.
The last time was when
Like-
they made it to the AFC Championship 4 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, against the Patriots, and they got. It was actually
Yeah.
a close game.
They beat, I forget who they beat first, and then they beat the Steelers. And then it was like, oh, they're playing the Patriots, and they beat the Patriots at the beginning of the year in like the season opener, and it was like, Jacksonville is going to be in the Super Bowl, but then they weren't in the Super Bowl, because they couldn't score, and then they re-signed Blake Bortles, and it was like, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah,
And
if
they
you would have
haven't
got a
been
quarterback
good.
with that, their defense was insane. You got AJ Bouye, Jalen Ramsey on his rookie deal. Like, it was lights out defense, but they just
Oh,
couldn't score.
yes. I remember now. I remember. Okay.
Couldn't score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bengals at the Dolphins.
I got the Bengals on the road here
What?
in this one. Yeah, dude, I do, man. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm just buying into the Joe Burrow hype, AJ Green, and what different weapons that he has. Or maybe I'm just not giving a lot of stock into the Dolphins. I know they had a rebuild. I know they drafted a lot of good players, but I just don't think it's going to be enough at this point. I think the Bengals have I think they have more pieces right now.
Casey?
At this time, at week 13, it's going to be Bengals, usually kind of a bad team. Dolphins, yes, bad team. But with these new guys, you got Joe Burrow and you got, Tua. Hopefully Tua playing. So, if it's Joe Burrow and Tua, I'm going to go with Tua. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Oh,
Okay.
I like it.
Dolphins. All right.
Me too, Mr. Casey. I'm going with the Dolphins. Not only are the Dolphins at home, Mr. Jackson, but I also think the Dolphins, you brought up that you think the Bengals have more pieces. I think the Dolphins have more pieces. They brought in a lot of key free agents. They drafted a lot. They got Tua. I mean, all I seen the Bengals do was get back an AJ Green that didn't play last year, and it's like 30-something. He's still going to be good. And then you got Joe Burrow coming into the worst team in the league last year. The Dolphins were literally better, and they were trying to lose. They tried to tank for Tua.
They got him.
Okay?
It's going to be a good game. Tua versus Burrow.
Yeah.
Next game, Colts at the Texans.
Colts at the Texans. I got the Colts on the road here, man.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, Aiden. I know you're at home like, oh gosh, dang it, the Texans. But I think the Colts, they got more pieces. Phillip Rivers saw the uniform, looked pretty good. Okay, right, that guy. I don't know, man. I feel like the Colts just have a better team, especially a better defense all the way around. Better
Mr.
coaching
Casey.
too.
The Colts. Philip Rivers will beat the Texans, and you got Philip Rivers. He could beat the Texans.
It'll be
I
interesting
would
to see
hope.
though, because Houston you still have Deshaun Watson, who's a better quarterback in that matchup. Clearly,
Yeah,
David
but
Johnson trying to prove some stuff. What you got, Lucas?
I'm going with the Texans.
Going with the Texans at home. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Texans at home because
you just made Aiden happy.
yeah. All right.
He'll be super happy with you.
I would like to say I did it just for him, but I've got to add that I feel like we've really been hating on the Texans a lot. They deserve the hate. They deserve it. All right. Their coach has done some hateable things. They've done some questionable things, right? But I do think the Colts are a little overhyped coming into the year. And although it's like Philip Rivers is getting with his old coach and it's going to be really cool, and like they have an amazing offensive line, they've got some studs on defense. The Texans still have Deshaun Watson, and they do stupid stuff. The Texans pull off stupid stuff against their teams in their division. That's how they've been winning the division. Is they do stupid stuff against us. Okay, we're playing them at home last year, and it's like Jonnu Smith has the ball in his arm right here. It's literally in his arm when he catches it, and he like goes to tuck it, and he gets hit from behind. The ball's perfectly hit. It goes flying up in the air, and one of their defensive end grabs the ball out of the air and runs all the way down the field with it. Okay, like that's just. It happened the one time that happened to the Titans last year. It was against the Texans. Okay, so
weird stuff happens. Okay.
Lions at the Bears.
Lions at the Bears. I got the Bears at home. Of course, I think by this time we have Nick Foles starting. Absolutely, because Mitch Trubisky is terrible, even though he broke off a run against the Cowboys. But that's neither here nor there. I just think that the Bears have more pieces. I think they have a better defense, and just all around, I think they have better coaching too.
Casey?
I'm going for the Lions. I'm gonna go for the Lions just because they have a better quarterback.
They do have a better quarterback. Matt Stafford is that guy.
I like the pick. I respect it. I really thought you were still going to go Bears, but you went Lions. I respect it. I don't have faith in the coach of the Lions yet, so I've got to go with the Bears because I do think the Bears have a better coach. Mm-hmm. I seen something the other day that said Matthew Stafford might have some underlying stuff going on. Like,
yeah, he's on the COVID-19 list right now.
Is that what it was? It was just COVID. I just seen that he was on injury reserve.
Yeah, so I think I don't know if he has it or he's been in close contact with somebody that has it, but he hasn't exited that protocol yet.
Okay.
He's got to have a couple negative tests in a row where he can exit out.
Well, that shouldn't affect this game.
Right.
I'm still going with the Bears. Saints at the Falcons.
Ooh, battle of the NFC South. Saints clearly on top here.
Clearly, he says.
Look, clearly, Bluebird. I mean, they have better coaching. They have a better quarterback. I think they have more pieces. I like their defense more. I know Atlanta has a decent team. They know they've been injury-ridden for the past several years. Calvin Ridley's looking good. Same with Julio. But I think it's just going to come down to some clutch moments. I think it's going to be a close game, but I trust Drew Brees in the clutch more than I trust Matt Ryan.
Casey, same thing, Saints?
Saints, just because Drew Brees is licking his chops to get to the deep end of the playoffs in the AFC champion or NFC championship, and he's licking his chops at Tom Brady. So I've got to go with Saints. I mean, he's going at this time in week 13. He's going to win the most games he can get into the playoffs because he's licking his chops for another ring. So
yep. I definitely agree with you. I'm going with the Saints also, and you brought up Drew Brees. Makes me think about he's trying to get some home field advantage right now. Like that's what they're going to be going after at this point in the season.
And Lucas, I'm glad you brought that up. That might be the difference in the factor in a potential, later on in the playoffs if he has to play against Tampa.
True.
That could be a key factor.
Giants at the Seahawks.
I got Seahawks all the way, man. I think they got better. Obviously, I keep bringing up the coach, but I think that's a huge part in the NFL today. Pete Carroll. I think DK Metcalf's going to mold himself into something new. We don't know about Josh Gordon. could potentially be coming back. We'll have to see. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks, assuming even Josh Gordon isn't there. I think Jamal Adams presents a big problem for the Giants and for Daniel Jones. I think he's going to make him pay. So I got the Seahawks at home. Tough place to play. Even if you do have cardboard cutouts everywhere, still a rough place to play.
What you got, Casey?
I've got the Seahawks just because they did a huge pick, and they better beat the Giants at this point, right?
Yeah, we're going to need the Giants to lose, man.
Yeah. I gotta go with the Seahawks too. I don't think there's any way you can argue against that. Rams at the Cardinals.
I got the Cardinals at home here, man. I got the Cardinals at home against the Rams. I got D-Hop, I got Murray, I got Fitzgerald, I got Kirk, I don't know. I just got a weird feeling, Lucas. Maybe I'm just writing off the Rams way too early, and maybe that's a mistake for me. But I don't know. Cardinals at home. Am I crazy? Am I crazy, Casey?
No, you're not. Because guess what? Murray didn't get benched last year, and guess who got benched last year? The Rams quarterback got benched.
He did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jared Goff, he got benched.
Who you got?
I got Murray.
Oh, man. I hate
Lucas
y'all.
picking the Rams. Lucas picking the Rams.
I can't stand y'all because I was sitting here and I was like, they're going to pick the Rams and I'm going with the Cardinals. And they're going to be like, whoa, why would you do that? But instead, y'all just had to steal my thunder because I picked the Cardinals too.
If Jared Goff didn't get benched last year, I would have probably gone with the Rams since they did go to the Super Bowl against Brady. But he got benched. They were horrible, terrible. And Murray did pretty good. Didn't win a whole lot of games, but it's his freshman year, so he's got a mold. And
he's in a tough division.
And and they're doing their college spread offense and then in the pros. So give it time; it might work. But Murray is so talented. He's way better than Goff. I've got to say, because I'm not a Goff fan. Goff was a fluke.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Next matchup, the Patriots at the Chargers.
I got the Patriots on the road here. All right. I got Bill Belichick. I know you're looking at me crazy. I got Bill Belichick. I have, even if with their players that have opted out, I don't know. It just feels like one of those weird games that the Chargers should win and are supposed to win, but yet don't.
Casey?
Jackson.
What?
But it's your boy, wide receiver, Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You still got Stephon Gilmore. He's going to shut down anybody. He's going to shut down Keenan Allen.
Patriots, of course. Patriots. Because just because Bill Belichick, he's going to win some games. He's going to have a winning season. I don't really see him tanking. And if he does tank, then it was a plan all the time. But his job is to win games, and he doesn't like to lose, so I'm going with the Patriots. And they'll have a winning season and might have a playoff win.
Playoff win?
With the Super Bowl, maybe.
Oh, my. That is blasphemous. How dare you, sir? They are not. I'm beginning to think about Lucas here. I don't think they're making the playoffs this
year. Okay. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Do it, Lucas.
All right, This is why. Okay, I have really been hating on the Chargers this year.
Tyrod Taylor. Come on.
The difference is that Joe Herbert, is that his name?
Justin Herbert.
Justin. I'm sorry, I got his first name wrong. I knew his last name was Herbert.
He'll probably be starting by this time.
He's going to be starting by this time because we all know Tyrod's going to come in and he's going to carry the team for half the year. He's going to be terrible, and then they're going to bring in the rookie. All right, the rookie's going to come in and add some magic thunder to the Chargers, okay?
I love that, Lucas.
And so I see them winning this. They're going to be putting pressure on the Patriots that I don't think they're going to be able to handle. Their defense is going to come up big here.
Joey Bosa just signed a big deal.
Yeah. So, next up, Eagles at the Packers.
I got the Packers at home. That bad man Aaron Rodgers going to come through in the clutch. All right. That's my guy. Okay, he completely outclasses Carson Wentz. Even if Aaron Rodgers is on a little bit of a decline, doesn't matter. Carson Wentz shouldn't even be in the same conversation as Aaron Rodgers. Period. Point blank. End of story. Like Packers at home, 100%. Also going to need them to win this game. That may or may not be a factor.
Casey seemed puzzled for a second. What you got?
I'm going with the Eagles.
Oh, you little why?
Because, man, the coach.
Doug Peterson?
The coach.
He is a good coach.
He
is better coach than Matt LaFleur.
He's better coach. And, I mean, Jackson, we got beat by the Eagles from practice
squad.
All right. So I'm going Eagles. Did great coaching on that. Guys that we don't have a clue who they are beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys. Dak and Zeke, Amari. I'm going with the Eagles. Yeah. Just come on now.
So I'm actually going to go with the Eagles too. I'm not exactly for the fact that they beat the Cowboys with their practice squad, but just for the fact that the Eagles are a team. The Eagles are a team like the Titans. I feel like where they feed on the underdog mentality. They love going into a game and everyone thinks they're going to lose.
That is true.
Like
that is true.
Like the way that team is wired. They love that. That Super Bowl run with Nick Foles. Oh, they're just eating it. They were just eating it up, man. Every single play they were out there.
They love being doubted.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Every single play they were out there, and they were like, "No one thinks we can win. No one thinks we can win." So they won.
Oh yes, and by this time it'd be Jalen Hurts, not Carson Wentz.
He just said. Did he just say that Jalen Hurts is going to be starting at this time instead of Carson Wentz? Did he just say that?
Yep, I did.
Do you actually believe this? Because if you do, you can make a bet with Jackson, or I can make it a calling it.
Oh yeah. Write it down your notes, because Carson Wentz will be injured by this time.
I'll take that. Okay. I can't discredit that. Aside from injury, Carson Wentz will be the starter throughout the entire year. Aside from injury, I'll take that. I'll take that bet.
There's a reason why they picked up Jalen Hurts. Come on, Alabama quarterback, OU quarterback, like. Let's go.
All right, is this you want to make this the free bet with Casey Jackson?
I'll bet with Casey. I'll bet you a big old pack of football cards. What's up?
If I lose, I'll get an Eagle jersey.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll get a Carson Wentz jersey if I lose. How about that? And
okay.
And I'll wear it on the pod. How about that?
All right, so the bet is Jalen Hurts will start for the Eagles in Week 13, or how do y'all want to word it?
Are you saying by a certain time, or are you saying throughout the year at all?
Like he'll be playing at this game on Week 13. He'll be playing.
By Week 13, he'll be playing.
Yeah.
And Lucas, I'm taking the bet disbarring injury. Okay.
What do you mean? Jackson, you can't just do that.
I did. I said that.
In my special perfect world.
No, I'm saying unless it's injury, that's the only way that Jalen Hurts is going to be playing. Is if it's injury.
He gets injured every year. It's okay.
So are you saying this because of injury, or are you saying this because you think they're actually going to start him over Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz is going to choke or injure. Either way, he's going to do bad. You know why? Because Eagles has a Nick Foles statue that bugs him. Every time he goes to the locker room, every time he pulls up, he sees the statue of Nick Foles, and it haunts him, and he messes up.
All right, I got it. I got it down.
All right, you got it down.
All right, so if I lose, I'm wearing a Carson Wentz jersey on the pod saying I was wrong.
Right, with your Ryan Tannehill jersey. And then
oh yes. Yeah.
Yes. We all know you're going to lose that one too. And then we got to have Jackson has to buy you a big pack of football cards.
Okay.
If he loses.
Big old pack.
Big old pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Big old
literally what I
pack.
wrote down.
You're-
Big old pack, because that
A
was
big old
Jackson's
pack.
description.
Sounds like a good bet.
Broncos at the Chiefs.
Chiefs at home. 100%. Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
Casey?
Andy Reid. Here.
You got the same thing, Casey?
Yeah, that's not even a competition team there. That the Broncos are trash.
Yeah, it's
Lucas
sad.
Pick 'em.
No, I went with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills at the 49ers.
I like this Monday night game, right? So this is going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty good game here, right? But I got the 49ers at home. Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Yes, they have Jimmy G, but he does have the most chiseled jaw in the NFL. And that's facts. I like their defense. I think their defense is going to carry them on this year. 49ers.
Casey?
Bills.
Yes! Bills, Jackson.
Listen, bro, the 49ers will end up trading for Deshaun Watson at some point, right, Lucas? We have that. It's a conspiracy, okay?
I've got the Bills just because the Bills have been bad for so many years, and they have not had a good quarterback for so many years. And they finally found their quarterback, and he's a leader, and he worked. He obliterated the Cowboys, embarrassed the Cowboys. Like
He did. He should have beat the Texans if he didn't. I don't know. He tried to be way too extra.
Well, Texans were a little bit better, Jackson. I mean, come on. But anyway,
Texans
he's a
should have
new
lost that game.
leader. He's the new franchise quarterback. Yeah. He's going to be molding his team together. They're going to win games, and I've got to go with the new guy, the new.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
All right.
I'm Nick Bosa. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I went with the Bills too, Mr. Casey. We're the big brains in the room right now, okay?
Usually always are.
Anyways, up next we got Take It or Leave It. It's gonna be a
favorite.
it's gonna be a little different this week. For those of you that don't know, Take It or Leave It segment we do every single week. Normally, I ask Jackson. I present him with like 5 statements, and he tells me if he's gonna take it, leave it. We explain why. It's a good time. This week is going to be different because we have Mr. Casey here. So what we're going to do this week is we're actually going to start with Jackson.
Okay.
And then I'll go and I'll let Mr. Casey wrap it up for us. But we're going to do 2 apiece.
Okay. So should I do 2 and then you do 2 and then back over to
Casey
Casey? Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, this is my favorite segment of the show. Take it or leave it. I love this one. So I got one right here for you, Casey. Lucas, you as well. Here's my statement. Take it or leave it. Without winning another ring, Drew Brees is already cemented as a top 5 quarterback of all time, even if he doesn't win another ring. His resume right now.
Yeah, I take it. He's top. He's always going to be a top quarterback no matter what. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Lucas? Because I'll present a devil's advocate argument because I took a list and I have my top 5. Okay. And I also wrote out a different list of other quarterbacks for you guys to think about. Okay. We got Montana, right? We have Manning. Okay. And I'm going to name off a bunch of quarterbacks here just to keep in mind. You got Brees himself. You have Steve Young, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, John Elway. He's got 2 rings, more than Brees. Eli, he's got 2 rings, more than Brees. Big Ben, he has 2 rings, more than Brees. Okay.
Well, Favre's only got 1.
Do what?
Favre's only got 1 ring.
Favre, who are you talking about? Favre, yeah, Favre. Okay, I thought you said somebody different. Staubach's got 2 rings. Okay, Johnny Unitas. Okay, 4 total. He's got 3 NFL championships and 1 Super Bowl. Okay, and then you got Terry Bradshaw. He has 4 rings. Okay, so just some quarterbacks to think about while you're making your top 5 list there. Yeah. So without Brees winning another championship, does that for Lucas? Is he still cemented top 5?
I'm going to say yes because, number one, I think you got to think about some of the records he has. So the records he might have by the end of his career as well. He's done really good, just like stat-wise. He's always there, right? Yeah. Like I feel like Drew Brees is there when he needs to be. I know this past year he missed some games, but he's usually pretty much there. Man, I mean, winning another one would like solidify it, I think.
I think so too.
But I mean, just some of those quarterbacks, like what's that one guy? You said one name where I was just like, I don't even want to like think of them in the same
Elway,
sentence.
Staubach,
Yeah,
Dan
Elway.
Marino.
You said Elway, and I'm just like, I just feel like Drew Brees is a way better quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta. I'm gonna take it. I'll take it.
I'm taking it too, and here's why. I think Brees is an incredible talent. I think, just like you said, you take into account all his different records, right? What he's been able to do. He doesn't have the postseason success that some of these other quarterbacks do, but some of these other quarterbacks, they were kind of blessed with some better defenses and different things at the time. Brees hasn't always had that. He's kind of had to carry his team a little bit. He's done it with different receivers, Marcus Colston, now Michael Thomas, and others. I think just like purely from a quarterback perspective, I think we were incredibly blessed from like 2004 to 2015, getting to see Brees and Manning and Brady in their prime as three of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL history. And that's my personal opinion. So my top 5, and I know this wasn't asked for, I got Brady at the top. Right behind him, I got Manning. And then I got Montana. Then I have Johnny Unitas, and then I have Brees. That's kind of my top 5. So
also, Jackson, Drew Brees and Sean Payton put the Saints on the map.
Like, yeah, literally, they were erased from Hurricane Katrina, and they brought them back.
Yeah. And now they won a Super Bowl because the hurricane, the Hurricane Katrina.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was an amazing moment. And now when you think of Saints, you think of Sean Payton and just think of Drew Brees.
You do. And I remember watching that Monday Night Football game when they came back against Michael Vick's 49ers, right? It was their first game back in the dome, and it was just like, it was electrifying.
Michael Vick's 49ers.
Michael Vick's Falcons, excuse me.
I was about to say, was that a team?
No, I'm sorry.
I was lost, bro.
Michael Vick's Falcons, right? 2006, right? And their first game back in the Superdome, and it was just like the energy was insane. They have a statue right now of the guy who blocked the punt. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but ended up sealing it when it was his name. So yeah, I got Brees. He's in my top 5 for sure. I think if he gets another one, he bumps up to number 4 for me, right behind Montana. If he gets another ring. So anyway, my second take or leave it. Speaking of Brees and Brady and those amazing quarterbacks, Mr. Casey, this is one Tater specifically for you. Lucas, feel free to chime in. Take it or leave it. We will see a Brady versus Brees NFC Championship game before either one of them retires. Doesn't have to be this year, but we're going to get to see one.
We'll see what?
A Brees versus Brady NFC Championship game.
Oh, yes, definitely. For sure. NFC Championship. Well, they're in the same division. How's that happen?
They're in the same division. It has happened before. It's not very likely, right? So, like the Steelers and the Ravens have played each other in the AFC Championship game before. The Eagles and the Giants played each other in an NFC Championship game. It's not very likely. I think it's only happened like 6 or 7 times in the history of sports.
I don't know, because they're both in the NFC South. So I'm going to leave it just because that's unheard of. Like,
it's definitely possible. It works off the seeds, especially with the 7th seed coming in now. So like if you have a 1 seed and you have a 6 seed, and the way the wild card works, just kind of depends on who wins and how they meet up there. It's unlikely, but the other team would have to be a wild card.
I'm gonna leave it because I think they're gonna do it out during the playoffs. Like, they're gonna be the 2 teams is like, I'm going to playoffs or you're going home. Like, it's going to be do.
Oh, you think it's going to be a one or the other?
Yeah.
Like one of them won't make the wild card if the other one gets in. So they'll be like they're fighting for like a 4 seed.
Yeah, because they're both 2 quarterbacks in that division, and they're both going to be licking their chops, and they both have 2-year contracts with their teams right now, and they're both getting that retirement age, and they're both wanting that another ring. So they're going to duel it out, and it's going to be a game where it's going to one wins and the other's going home. Like, it's going to be that way. Like,
what do you think, Lucas?
I would have taken it if you wouldn't have said NFC Championship. If you would have said they just meet in the playoffs, then I would have definitely taken it. Like, I think that'd be amazing. It'd be a cool thing to hope for. It'd be an amazing thing to look forward to.
For sure.
But for them to meet in the NFC Championship, I feel like takes a lot. So I'm gonna leave it. But I do think that, like, there's a chance we could get in one of the two earlier rounds, or however many rounds there is now. But since we're expanding the playoffs, I think there's a chance it could happen then.
Oh yeah, we are expanding playoffs. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, man. I feel just for the storyline of it all, I think there's a way these things kind of happening. I think I'll take it.
Really cool though.
There's a way that it could happen. So one of them would have to be the 1 seed, the other one would have to be the 5th seed as a wild card, and they would just end up. That's how it would have to happen based on the playoff progression. I think that would be incredible. Okay. One of them playing, going to the Super Bowl, and the other one basically going home and retiring. I think that would be. Wouldn't that just be a really cool story? One of them gets to take another shot in the ring, and the other one has to go home and.
Yeah, because their generation of quarterbacks, they're the last two. Because you got Peyton Manning, Brett Favre's
gone.
Brett Favre was kind of an older guy at the time when they were playing, but
Eli's gone. Big Ben's still there.
So they're like the last two in their generation. So, and all the guys that they played with are pretty much retired, just about.
Yeah. Crazy. But that's my take it or leave it, guys.
Right. My turn. For you, Mr. Casey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Have you seen the news that The Rock is part of a group that has bought the XFL?
Yes, I heard that on the radio this morning.
All right. So take it or leave it, Mr. Casey, and Jackson, I'll let you chime in at the end.
Appreciate you.
The Rock will make XFL catch on this time. So something's finally going to work out this time because The Rock's in it.
Lucas.
I'm here for it, Casey.
Question. Lucas, I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
Do you smell XFL is cooking?
Oh my gosh, the XFL.
I'm guessing you're taking it. Yeah.
I'm taking it because The Rock is a great businessman, which I'm really surprised that he bought it too, because I didn't really think he had I know he's rich and everything. I didn't think he had the money to buy the XFL for the McMahons, but I'm excited. I'm pumped about it, and I think he'll make it better. The XFL would be great if they didn't put a bunch of old has-been players from the NFL. It would be better if they put new, fresh guys from college and don't put like guys that used to play in the NFL. Yeah, like if you put guys that played in the NFL but didn't do anything, don't put them in there. Like get college guys, freshly out of college, that they want to play in there and make them, because that's how you build
work their way, and they get a call from the Cowboys or the call from the Giants. I was
disappointed with Landry Jones being the Dallas whatever team they were. That it was like I watched one game and I was like, okay, I can't watch it anymore. But when they had it going, I was rooting for the Houston team, Roughnecks, and that quarterback was like JP Morgan or whatever his name is. He plays. Yeah. He's with the Panthers now, and he was actually good. Great passes. Receivers were on point and everything. It was a great team. But since we had the COVID, they ruined it. So ruined it. So I think The Rock will make it better, and he's a great businessman. So I'm taking it. I'm looking forward to it.
What you got, Jack?
You know, Lucas, I'm going to go ahead and take it too. I feel like if there's anybody who can bring some electricity, it is the most electrifying man himself, The Rock. Okay. So, and especially part of that ownership group, right? So it wasn't just The Rock, right? He was a part of there was a bunch of different people that bought in, right?
I think he was a part of a group of people.
Part of a group. Okay. So not just him. I was just curious, making sure I got the details.
Yeah. I think that's what the report was.
Making sure I got the details right. But I think The Rock has an incredible work ethic. I think he has a lot of business sense, and I think he has an incredible pull through social media and through his avenues and on movies and different things like that. And I think he's going to be able to bring an audience too. So I hope the XFL works out. I really do. I think it would be really cool, Casey, if it was kind of that step up. You got high school and college, and then you go, you're an undrafted free agent, go play in the XFL. maybe you get a call from the Pittsburgh Steelers or from the Carolina Panthers or whoever, if you end up being, really, really good, just providing an extra layer. I like, if there's any sort of other league that allows people to play and showcase their abilities, I'm all for it. I hope it works out. I feel like The Rock's going to help.
I'm gonna. I want to take it.
Okay.
What, Lucas?
I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, The Rock is gonna change it. I definitely think he can help in a lot though. Something I want them to do though. This is my letter to the XFL right now.
Okay. Lay it on me.
They need to find a way to make this happen. Y'all know how in basketball you have to play a year in college and then go to the NBA, or you can go play overseas or something like that. You can
or playing like a development league. Yeah.
Right. The XFL needs to work out a deal somehow where players can come, and if you want to be paid straight out of high school, you go play for the XFL, and you have to play for at least 3 years, and then you can be drafted by the NFL. So I think this can bring in bigger names. You're gonna hit a larger audience because it's like, like before, I didn't want to sit down and watch one of these games as much because, like Casey was talking about, you don't have any studs out there. But if you got a stud that wants to get paid, because in college you can't get paid yet. I mean, I know they're working on that, but it's kind of like, hey, like you can come here, sign a contract, and you can do sponsorship deals. College is just now like, hey, I want to get paid for you putting me in a video game and stuff like that, And so,
right.
I think it's just another avenue for some players that are going to want to do that. I think it's going to increase your talent level. You're going to have more steady names in there because then those players have to be there for 3 years.
Right, and then they can declare for the draft just like college.
Right, and I think it just brings in more talent and stuff like that. You have just the larger talent pool. You got your college players. You've got these other players that you might go to some school where you wouldn't necessarily be seen at, but instead you're like, I can just go sign a contract with the XFL and I'll be on national television.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be an attractive option if something like that happens. You might have a case where, so you're going to have some college talent that's like, what, instead of going to play for Ohio State, I might go ahead and just go over here real quick. There's going to be pros and cons to both sides too. So, I hope it works out, man.
Now, I will say though, like the problem with players going straight from high school to the NFL is that like the NFL is too extreme. Like it's just too fast and stuff like that. You're not as developed. Yeah. You're not as developed. And so they would have to find a way to make it safe for players like this to come out of high school, because you don't want to come out of high school, go into the XFL, and you're playing against a guy that's like, I was a 15-year NFL vet. I'm just here for fun now. Like,
right? Yeah, you're coming out of high school, and you might be a stud, but I mean, you enter that next level, it's a man's game. You know what I mean, right? You're gonna have somebody like Ray Lewis just come in and completely clock you. Right. So you just got to be you got to figure a way out around that. So, but I like the idea.
There's got to be something. Right? There's got to be something else. Like maybe they limit the age or something.
Yeah, NFL is breaking bones, for sure.
It's crazy.
Lamar Jackson will be probably breaking a bone if he keeps running that ball.
Hey, there's something.
He's got to be careful.
He got lucky with a bunch of hits. There's a bunch of times where he got tackled just right to where he wouldn't get hurt sometimes. I mean,
look at RG3, man. I know we're kind of on a tangent here, but RG3, incredible talent, 2012 Offensive Rookie of the Year, that guy, right? The next Michael Vick, one bad hit from Holo Inada, and his career hasn't been the same ever since. Blew out his knee. You have to be careful if you're a mobile quarterback.
That's why NFL, you are a passer and a quarterback.
That's it.
Now, if the XFL is going, then they can do running. They can run and fancy dancy the ball and all they want. But yes, if they have the XFL, straight out of high school, yes, it will prepare them to go to get drafted in NFL, which is like college. So I agree with that as well.
More opportunity for more coaches, more players, more staff. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
My next take it or leave it, also directed at Casey Jackson. Okay. I guess we'll let you talk at the end.
Okay.
So just a little preface. Lots and lots of people today grew up watching Michael Jordan, right? And they think of him as the GOAT of sports of all time, right? Like he is the greatest player to ever play a sport.
I know where this is going.
So Take it or leave it, Casey. Tom Brady has to win another ring in order for him to be more goated than Michael Jordan.
Oh man, what a question.
Man, that's really hard to say because you got two different sports, all right?
Right.
But if Tom Brady wins another ring, I'm going to leave it because Michael Jordan was just insane talent and competitive. Like he was way more competitive than Tom Brady. Okay. And Michael Jordan, so competitive that he would make bets, multi high dollar bets on stupidest things because that's how competitive he is.
Rock, paper, scissors games.
Yeah. And he was competitive with his golf game. He was competitive with when he did the baseball thing, which it didn't really turn out good, but then he came back and won another ring or two, however he won when he came back. So for someone to retire for a year and play baseball and then come back and win another ring, it's
3 straight.
Amazing talent. So I'm going to leave it.
Jackson?
You know what? Here, I'm going to preface this by saying both of these talents are goated, right? The goats in their respective sports. Both of them have been generational talents. They have been icons across the world in terms of success and competition at its highest level. Tom Brady dominated the NFL. He's got 6 rings. He went to 9 Super Bowls over the course of 20 years. That's amazing. It's going to be almost impossible to replicate. You know, have another team just come in and does that, what him and Belichick did together. But I had the privilege of watching The Last Dance recently, okay? Michael Jordan was on another level. Michael Jordan was the icon not only of the United States, an icon of the globe. Okay. Yeah. Michael Jordan's competition was fierce. He dominated the league unlike anything we've ever seen before. He won 3 straight championships, took a year off for baseball, came back and won 3 more in back to back. Michael Jordan is it's just different. So to answer your question, Brady would have to win 1 more to eclipse Jordan. Yes. So I guess in that sense, I'll take it. He has to do that because right now, even at 6, MJ's just. I think MJ is the the greatest athlete of all time, in my opinion. I don't know, man. Michael Jordan's on a different level.
Tom Brady thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest icon.
Yeah, he does, and you know, and that's not taking anything away from Brady and what he's done. We're talking about the 2 biggest icons like in sports history, period. But I just think what Jordan was able to do over the time that he was in the league, dominating the league for as long as he did, how he did it with different players on his team. I gotta still with Jordan, man. But yes, answer your question. Take it. Brady has to win 1 more to eclipse Jordan.
So just copy and paste your preface in, right?
Okay.
Like everything you said, all of that was amazing. 1 second, I am looking up something. So Michael Jordan played 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady, what year was he drafted, Casey? You got to know.
99?
2000.
2000, I'm sorry. Yeah.
2000? Okay.
Let's pick 199. That's where I got the 99 from.
All right, so this man is like about to enter his like 21st season.
Yeah, play for longer.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
I'm leaving it because I think he's already more goated.
Really?
Here's why. Number 1, I think it's easier to show how dominant you are in basketball.
Right? 5 as opposed to 11 on 11.
Yes, it's easier for one player to come in and do stuff like that. Change your team completely with the presence of one person. And you can go from like not even being close to the playoffs to being boom, like you're there. And like, yes, Michael Jordan did elevate his teammates and stuff like that. But it was also like a lot about him. I think Tom Brady has played longer and has played at an extremely high level every single year of his career, where Michael Jordan played less in a sport that's not necessarily as physical and detrimental to your body compared to football. I think Tom Brady has played with lesser talent than Michael Jordan has, right?
Okay.
And I've got to say that just...
Did you watch Last Dance?
To elevate a whole team, it's just different, Jackson. I feel like it takes more, like, his longevity, elevating the whole entire team completely. Ugh.
Lucas, I love how you think.
You like it?
I love it. Can I change? Can I agree with you?
You can. You can if you want to. I'll allow it. What were you going to say?
I want to. So you said the magic words. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about the championships. That's all.
Yeah, I just think it takes more to win in the NFL. Like, it's way harder.
You went way into detail, like over my head.
Do you want to argue back, Jackson? Because I just think it takes way more.
Look here, I respect the take. I'm not going to hate on it, right? That's why we're having this conversation, and even the fact that we're having this conversation is a tribute to how amazing these two careers.
I gotta interrupt you for 1 second. Also, being a quarterback is the most complex position in sports.
Yeah,
it is.
It is the most complex position in sports, and you can't argue about coaching, right? They both have the best coaches, right, in the history of the game. Phil Jackson versus Bill Belichick.
Right.
There's more injuries in football.
There is more injuries in football. You have to talk. You think about football, and I will say an argument for your side, Lucas. One that you didn't mention was the playoffs is different. It's one and done.
That too.
You lose.
You got to show up. You got to show up.
You have to win 4 games in a row, unless you're the 1 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you win the Super Bowl. But another caveat to that too, Lucas, is there's way more games in basketball in the playoffs, and you have to be consistent and beat teams in 4-game series, right, over the course of the entire playoff season, right? So the playoffs is longer for basketball. You have to be consistent on top of your game for more. You could drop a 40-point game and you're not sending them home. You got to come back the next day and beat them again. And I think MJ was so dominant even throughout his entire career. Yeah, he won his six rings towards the end of his career, but throughout the 80s when he had nobody on his team for Chicago, and he was consistently in the scoring champion conversation or the scoring champion. He was the next guy. He took the torch from Larry Bird. He elevated basketball to the position to where it was able to be taken for the torch again from LeBron James to be where it is today. You know, he transcended the entire sport, the game of basketball, is my point. And I can't hate. Right. I don't think there's a wrong answer to this question.
Right. I just think it's easier to do that in the NBA because it's like one person, like how LeBron James is right now. You know, like LeBron dominates the NBA.
You can take over a team as one person.
Take over like that.
Absolutely.
Tom has to earn the respect of more people. Like how many people are on a roster this year?
And the plays are more complex, and you have to come in with a better game plan.
It takes more film study. It takes more devotion. He's done it longer. I feel like he's been more dominant. Like, if they both would have been at the peak of their careers at the same time, I feel like Tom Brady's like more dominant over a longer span of time.
Yeah, but I feel like I think Michael Jordan has to be consistent. But Tom Brady has been this consistent and has been this great for a longer career. But Michael Jordan also had to play way more games. There's an 82-game season and best of 7 games in the playoffs, to where you have to be at your best performance, right? 72-win game. And of course, you talk about Tom Brady. He won 16 in a row.
Well, I kind of want to know their win percentage, right? So Tom Brady's career win percentage is 77.4%.
Yeah, that's just absurd.
Okay,
that's just absurd. That's off the charts.
And
I'm sure Michael's is lower. You play 80. You play way more games.
Yeah,
it's got to be lower.
I couldn't find Michael Jordan's. I found his elimination game win percentage, which was 42.
And they've both been clutch, right? They both had that clutch gene. Michael Jordan's had game-winning shots. Brady's had 56 game-winning drives. I mean, they're so comparable. It's just kind of a matter of opinion at that point. No one's wrong.
Yeah, I just want to say LeBron James, Vince Carter, Ray Allen, and Kobe Bryant have more game-winning shots than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but
that's because he was always winning. He wasn't coming from behind. He didn't
have to hit the game winner, Lucas. Okay. It's very comparable either way you look at it. I think Michael Jordan transcended the sport of basketball and brought it into the mainstream. And that for me, and he set up what was the era of Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and where it's at today.
You think he set that up? I definitely think he helped.
I think he
with
helped.
Their mentality and stuff like that.
And of course, it comes down to the commissioner and other things going on with basketball and it become more popular. But like Michael Jordan was he was like the guy. Everybody's buying his sneakers and everything. And that's not to say that nobody's buying Brady jerseys or nobody's buying Brady stuff, TB12 and all that things. But it was just a different. Have you watched The Last Dance?
Michael Jordan was a symbol.
I encourage you to please
I think he was he was a bigger star. Like I can't argue with all that stuff. Like I definitely agree with that stuff. But my argument is that he was thrown into the spotlight where it is easier to be like that. Like it's way easier to be the star of the NBA than it is to be the star of the NFL.
Yeah,
I feel you.
NFL,
you're not wrong.
NFL, you can be a star one season, and the next season you'd be like, "Oh, who was that?"
And you have to rely on more things in the NFL, right? You have to rely on your defense to make stops. You have to rely on the 10 other guys on the field with you to do their jobs right, so you can elevate them and win games. It's way harder to do that. But I also think that it's just, and again, we're just going in circles around here, but I think the longevity of the NBA season and how clutch and how consistent you have to be throughout the playoffs and all that goes into it, I think we got to take that into consideration too. I'm still going to think Jordan, but to answer your question, yes. If Brady somehow wins a 7th, especially this year at home in Tampa, there is absolutely there's an argument right now, but there is absolutely no denying that Tom Brady would be the king of all sports forever if he comes out and he wins another one.
When he made that comeback against Atlanta, I was like,
it's debatable. It's debatable right now. You can go back and forth, and you can say you're going to say Brady, some are going to say Jordan, and it's just a matter of opinion at that point. But there will be absolutely no denying anybody if he wins another one.
I'm glad Casey switched up on me.
You made a compelling argument.
So that's it for mine, Casey. We'll get your take it or leave it, and then Jackson will wrap us up.
All right, guys. Take it or leave it.
Good segment.
Both of y'all. I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Okay.
Jason Garrett is going to have a better season this season at the Giants.
He'll have the Giant, him being at the Giant with the Giants will have a better season, or he will have a better season than the Cowboys. Which one?
He will have a better season with the Giants than he did with the Cowboys last year.
Okay, so better than 8-8.
Yes.
Okay. Leave it. I don't think the Giants are better than better than an 8-8 team right now. I think they got a lot of holes, especially on their defense. I think they got a lot of I think they have some decent pieces. I think Jason Garrett's a way better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach, but they have a rookie head coach. They have Daniel Jones coming into his second year. They have arguably one of the best running backs in the NFL, Saquon, and that's fantastic. But they had a bunch of injuries last year. Who knows? Now they are in a weak division, but they have a tough schedule, man. So I don't think they beat 8-8, even though they probably beat us 2 times.
I'm gonna take it. So I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna take it better. I'm gonna take it from the perspective of not necessarily record, because I don't think the offensive coordinator is his success is measured by record. Matt LaFleur went 9-7, and the offense was terrible.
But that was the question. He has a better season.
That wasn't the question. Was he have a better season? And then you asked in terms of record. I am changing it, and I'm saying not in terms of record.
Changing it.
But I am his offensive success, right? His success as an offensive coordinator does not have to be measured like it was before. The year before, he was the head coach. You can count on wins and losses. As an offense coordinator, I feel like you can't. And so
have a better season offensively than the Cowboys did last year as the number 1 offense in the league?
No, I'm saying, Jackson, they don't have
Amari
Cooper over there, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
of course
saying
not. So you're not.
As an offensive coordinator, he's going to do way more things right. He's going to have way more success, right? Like here's his checklist of what he has to do.
Okay, so
he's going to do way more stuff.
Him as an OC is going to be more successful as him as a head coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, duh. But I mean,
what do you mean, duh?
Either way,
because he's a terrible head coach, among the worst head coaches I've ever seen in my entire life.
He's
Lucas.
not.
Yes, he was bad.
He wasn't
bad.
allowed.
He was terrible in late game situations. His time management was poor, right? He has a great general manager able to bring on talent, but I mean, come on, like
Jackson, Coach Jones held him back.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing that Coach Jones held him back to a degree, but I mean, Jason Garrett obviously a better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach. He was a terrible head coach, but they're not going to have a better record, and they're not going to have a better offensive year than what the Cowboys had last year. Absolutely not.
All right, if it's true, I'm buying you a Giant jersey. Okay.
If they do, you'll buy me a Giant. Okay, cool. I get a free Giant jersey. I'm down with that.
Lucas, what do you think?
What about which part? I wasn't thinking.
Is Jason Garrett going to have a winning season?
A winning season? That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Better than 8-8. Better than 8-8 from the Cowboys.
No.
I mean, I personally think that they're going to lose to the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's 4 losses already.
Damn.
That's kind of. I mean, that's just. I can't say yes to that, Casey.
All right. Well, I'm a root for Coach Clapp.
Coach Clapp.
You can root for Coach Clapp.
It's not Coach Clapp that I have a problem with. It's Daniel Jones I have a problem with.
Oh, Daniel Jones. Huh?
And a rookie head coach.
All right.
Well, all right. Now, next question, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
He will get injured by the time of half of the season.
Ooh.
So by halfway through the season, he's going to be injured.
Yes.
Wow. Well, he doesn't have the Madden curse on his side. That's for sure. Definitely. But I'm going to leave it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Caroline. Yeah. I'm going to leave. I would never want to wish injury upon anybody or think that someone's going to get injured. I think he has a higher likelihood of getting injured than a pass first quarterback, but I can't say with any degree of certainty that he will be injured by a certain point of the season. I'm going to leave it.
I'm taking it.
You're taking it?
No runner of the football, halfback or quarterback or wide receiver, makes it halfway through the season without an injury. He might play hurt. Year? You can play hurt and still be injured, Jackson.
So you're thinking that he's gonna sprain an ankle, but still.
Derrick Henry's out there running for TDs and breaking the. Becoming the league's leading rusher with a torn up hammy.
If you're injured, you're not playing. If you're hurt, you're playing. You can play hurt. You're not playing injured.
It's the same word, Jackson.
No, it's not. It's a different connotation. Hurt. Everybody plays hurt. Okay, everybody has messed up.
What's it say all week? What's it say all week when you see all your teams playing? I'm sitting here. I'm looking. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott injured. Did not participate at practice. Injury. All right.
He's playing. They're playing hurt, bro. You're injured. You're not playing.
They're playing injured. It's the same word, Jackson. They mean the same thing. They mean hurt and injury is the same. That's like saying pain and feeling sensory signals from my nerve endings are not the same. Like it's the same. That's the same.
Okay, so okay,
is water H2O?
Well, of course, but that's not in part of your argument, Lucas. My part
is.
Okay, Lamar Jackson. Okay, we can't say with any degree of certainty that he's going to be injured and therefore out of a game by the time the midseason comes up.
I don't think there's a single football player that makes it halfway through the year without being injured in some way, shape, form, or
without being hurt. True.
Oh my God.
And injured. He's looking at a starry night. Okay, if we take it in your sense of the words, Lucas, obviously.
Right. I'd hate to look at things logically.
No, I mean, I'm definitely looking at things logically, Lucas, because if you're injured, he's not in the game.
Jackson, you're just being nitpicky.
I'm being correct.
That's like you're looking at 60 different shades of blue, but they're not just all blue. They're all blue.
Yeah, but there's different kinds. There's an injury and then there's injured. You have an injury
until you are healed.
You're out of the game.
If you are not healed, oh my god. Okay, just next question.
I wonder what Casey's gonna say in the comments for this episode.
Go, Casey, go. Your turn, go.
What do you think, Casey?
I think that, look, I see Lamar Jackson. I see RG3. That's what I see.
You see RG3?
Yeah, I see great quarterback, all the hype. You know, everybody's excited. The running quarterback's doing great and everything, and he's winning games, this and that. And then, boom.
Look at Lucas.
He's injured, and he's trying to come back. And Lamar Jackson name?
So he's trying to come back for being off the field from his injury.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, Lucas, there you go. What's up? Come at me sideways again, bro.
What? He said he literally just the take it or leave it was that he would be hurt sometime during the season.
Injured?
That he would be injured sometime during the season. For you to come back from an injury, you have to be first injured, Jackson. That's how it works. All right? I don't count to 5 by counting to 10 first. I don't say 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Jackson.
Let me ask the person who asked the question. Casey, is he going to be sidelined from a game? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If he's going to be sidelined from a game, then obviously leave it. If
the whole game?
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Hey, I'll take it if this man's getting hurt and he's out for half a game or something. I'll still take it.
He's getting bust up, and he's out, and got to put the backup in. Hope to win another game. All right, that cleared up.
Boom, I'm taking it.
That clears up. I'm leaving it still. I don't know. You know, I can never predict someone's going to injure. That's very possible. He's more likely for it to happen than, say, a Drew Brees type of player, but there's no way to know.
I hope Caroline beats you in your sleep tonight with a sack.
She might do it.
Like with a sack full of soap.
I wouldn't put it past her, man. She might do it.
I'm going to let her know.
That's what I see another RG3 happening.
I hope it doesn't, man. I hope he has a good career, but we'll see. Anyway.
Now, if he passes the ball, like, hey, I'm a passer and I'm a good passer, hey, something might happen.
Hey, I won't hate on him if he could throw straight like Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, he's different, man. That guy's just so good. That guy's so good.
If he could pull a Russell Wilson, let's bet on this too.
Okay.
How many bets we gonna have here?
Too many.
If Lamar Jackson ends up being like a next Russell Wilson, I'll have to buy me a Lamar Jackson jersey
and come back on the pod.
Yeah.
All right, but for him to do that, he has to have the ability to throw the football.
Yes.
Not by your terms, Jackson. By mine and Casey's terms, okay?
Which are?
Because you think he can already throw. Oh, he
can throw the ball.
4,000 yards a season. Okay?
For 4,000 yards? Okay. All right, that's fair, I guess. So an elite level stats for a quarterback for throwing.
Elite. He's got to be elite quarterback. He's got to be the man.
4,000 yards and 25 to 30 TDs. Passing the ball.
Passing the ball.
Well, that's reasonable because that's Russell Wilson's stats.
All right, if he doesn't throw for $4,000, what does Jackson have to do?
Wait, I'm not saying he's going to throw for $4,000.
All right, I'll just say Casey has to do it. It'll just be a Casey alone.
Casey calling it? That he's not going to throw for $4,000 this year?
No, it has to be a bet because if he doesn't get it, then there's repercussions.
Okay, so is he betting you?
He's betting us together, but we don't have any repercussions.
Well, I mean, that sounds great for me. I like that.
All right, well.
I like that deal already.
Casey's like, I'm rethinking this.
I said, well, let me tell you.
Because I don't think he's
out of nowhere. If he ends up with 4,000 yards, I'll buy his jersey.
I feel it.
There we go. Okay, that's fair. Fair enough.
It ain't gonna happen unless Jackson thinks it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but Hey,
maybe not this year. What about next year? I mean,
who knows, man? We'll just have to see how his arm talent develops.
you love Lamar Jackson.
Doesn't he?
Like,
Isn't he always just on the train? I don't know why the Cowboys don't just trade for him, Jackson. Jackson's over here just choo-choo, run the Lamar Jackson train. All right, all the time.
Listen, bro, that doesn't mean I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL, because he's definitely not. I don't think that he deserved that #1 spot for the NFL top 100 list either.
I mean, you also like Andy Dalton.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Andy Dalton. Heck yeah. I'd rather have Andy Dalton than our other backup quarterback. I didn't even know his name.
What do you know, Jackson?
Cooper Rush or something.
I'm starting to question everything.
That's what we do, Lucas. We question everything. All right, guys. Well, Casey, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast with us, man. It has been fantastic having you as a guest. It's been a real pleasure. This has been a great episode, probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite episode that we've had put up. And thank you again for the football cards. Appreciate you guys. If you didn't see it before, we got a little Dak Prescott. You got a little Lamar Jackson. We were just talking about him. And, of course, that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. Thank you, Casey, for sending us in the package. Really do appreciate it. Awesome episode. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Before I wrap this up real quick, Casey, this is your moment. Look into the camera. Plug your information. You got a YouTube channel. You got your spot. Where can the people find you?
Oh, you talking about my channel?
Yeah, man. I mean, anything with Casey. This is your moment to advertise yourself. This is you.
Oh, okay. Well, Casey Crawford, and I have a YouTube channel. It's called Bank Fishing, bass fishing. If you might want to learn about bass fishing, get on Bank Fishing on Facebook, and it's on YouTube as well. Little tips here and there how to catch you some bass. Also, I also got to thank Jackson and Lucas for allowing me to be on the pod, because it's awesome. I'm a #1 fan of y'all, and y'all do a great job. If anybody's out there listening, these guys do a fantastic job of doing their notes, learning about the league, and all the information they know about all these NFL players is crazy. Like, I know some stuff, but man, y'all know some players. Like, I'm like, who's that? Like,
thank you, Casey.
Like, what defensive guy is that? I ain't never heard his name. Y'all know his stats and everything. So, I mean, y'all guys do such a great job. I love listening to y'all. I mean, y'all do just a good job as like ESPN. So that's what I think.
High praise.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Really, really appreciate all the words. The cards are amazing. It's been awesome having you on today. I know me and Jackson have been talking about it, maybe trying to get you on eventually. Finally got it.
Yes.
I'm glad we did you justice. I'm glad you liked the episode too.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great time. What's up?
Jackson, I think you need one of these Patriot hats, and Lucas as well.
Oh.
Get you some Patriot pride.
I don't know.
You don't know about all that? You don't know about all that, Lucas?
I got some bad memories of the Patriots and the Titans, okay? Jackson ain't had to deal with them.
You're right. I ain't had to deal with them, but once every 4 years they slaughtered us.
Hey, I ain't forgot about Eddie George's last game as a Titan being against the Patriots, okay? I'm a little upset.
I missed the McNair and Eddie George days. Those
good times.
Days.
Those were the days. Yes.
Yes.
We're trying to get into that era again, though.
You're getting close. You're getting close. But guys, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps the channel grow. Comment down and we'll read your comments every week on the podcast, just like we do Casey's. And you comment enough, hey, might get yourself on the show.
That's right.
You should be able to. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere where you can find your podcast. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. That's it for me and the boys here in the booth. Guys, thank you all so much.